Shout out Judge Judy Slayer. Welcome. I got a fun ponytail. Woo! Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I got finger guns.
I was going to say, we're crazy. We're absolutely crazy this episode.
The only kind of guns
I gotta
that are allowed on this podcast.
Next time, I'll figure out how to attach my pineapple to my hair. It's a little difficult, but I'll figure it out. Or maybe I should attach the pineapple to my top of my headphones. Too much? Has the crowd decided too much? Welcome to Deckheads Chef Stiz. Chef Stiz.
Welcome.
Wow, Pineapple
the
Gang.
Chef Stiz
Chef
are
Stiz.
here.
Wow,
Chef
first
Stiz.
time chat from the Kate Raft. Deckheads. Shout out to the Kate Raft. Kate Raft is also a wonderful streamer, human performer, band leader. Also go check out all of Kate Raft's streams and podcasts.
Oh yeah, we should do a crossover with Kate Raft and Joan Haley Ford have a really great streaming show every fall called Fall Talk.
Oh my god, fall talk.
It's my favorite. My favorite Twitch stream. It's on Joan Haley Ford's channel. She's my fave also.
I don't know Joan, but we'll definitely have to do a
Oh, you would
fall
love her.
Deckhead.
Kate Rapp says we have to do a Fall Talk Deckheads
Oh, we
collab.
have to, honey.
Where we all
have
talk in our
to.
Kathy Hilton voice.
I love Kathy. There's something about Kathy that's like alluring, and every man, like everything about this should just be called Deckheads Kathy. I everything about her, from like how she has to eat at a TV tray and the weird like tuna balls she had.
Well, I love how Kyle made fun of her for eating on the TV trays. But I thought they were delightful. I'm doing this podcast on a TV tray right now.
I mean, look, I grew up with TV trays as well. I think it's so funny that Kathy like loves it, because Kathy's so about her mom. Like, she seems like the only one who like really truly loves the mom.
Oh, they all love Big Kathy. But I think it's interesting that they were like sort of a regular lower middle class family, and then everyone became super rich, but Kathy especially has she likes some of the old ways. Kate Rapp says, I love the ghost of Big Kathy, the true OG of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I agree.
I will say, I didn't even realize that, like, what was it, the show that's based off their mom,
American Woman?
something like that. I didn't even
It's not
know.
even on anymore.
No, it was I looked it up afterward and I was like, oh, that's right. Like, this was actually a thing. It was a season long. I think it's like, what's her name? From Clueless, isn't it?
It's Alicia Silverstone, and they talked about it on the season when Kyle was selling it. They talked about it a lot, but it was also weird because they were like, we can't make it anything like our actual childhood.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe a Lifetime show, I want to say, or Oxygen or something. Nikki Beck says that show is okay. It whitewashed Big Kathy so much. Yeah, I think that's the issue.
How so? What does that mean, whitewashed her?
Well, Big Kathy was a stage mom, I think, and depending who you talk to, they say that she made her kids act. She made Kyle and Kim act. Kira says, is Big Kathy not white? No, she is white. She's the whitest. I guess they just mean like they sanded off some of the rough edges of her real life, maybe, to make it more of like aspirational, because you can't have a show where it's like she's exploiting her kids by making them be child actors.
Right.
Although when I did meet Kathy Hilton, I was, and I asked her about her acting stuff, and she said, "Oh, I didn't like it, so I quit."
How much did Kathy act in?
She said she just didn't like doing it. She did it like a few times and was just like, I just want to be a regular teenager, and I don't want to have to worry. The thing she said was, I don't want to worry about maintaining my tan lines for a shoot, for continuity.
Right.
So she kind of claimed, she kind of said, so I just didn't do it anymore. And it didn't sound like Big Kathy was mad that she didn't do it anymore, but she was also a few years older than Kyle and Kim, who were both like little kids. So I think she was already just more of a teenager and like more interested in having her own social life, where she went to Hamburger Hamlet on dates with Rick Hilton. But Kim and Kyle were both, I think, like little people pleasers who were just like, Mom wants us to act and be the breadwinners.
How did they meet? Kathy and Rick.
Nikki Beck says it presented her as a go-getter, progressive, norms-changing, independent woman who instead allegedly probably knew her kid, who financially supported the family, was being abused for years.
Who was being abused? I know nothing about this family. I don't know why, but I really blocked out
I
the
mean,
like
I think Kim
Richard family.
Richards
Oh,
is,
Kim. Jesus, I keep forgetting about Kim, which I
but
think
it's
is a part
like,
of the
it depends
problem.
whether you think the reason Kim is fucked up is because she was a child actor, or maybe she just had a propensity towards addiction and stuff like that anyway.
But was Kim being abused?
Well, that, I don't know. I don't remember if they talked about that on the show ever. I mean, some people would say that allowing your children to be the breadwinners
Is a
is
problem.
a form of abuse. Um, because, I really do think children should not act and that they should all be replaced by Martin Short as Clifford. But, I think it was the 70s.
Right, where, there was clearly no regulation in any regard and everyone was like a latchkey kid.
Yeah, that's what I mean, exactly, is the vibe I get. So I think Kathy Hilton thinks of all of that stuff very fondly, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
She's like got nostalgia for the TV trays and stuff. But and there's obviously they all married very rich, so some people think Big Kathy pushed them all into sort of marrying rich guys, but
Right.
again, I feel like there's only so much you can do in that regard. They clearly wanted. I don't know. My thinking about it is that I would imagine it was kind of like a Slums of Beverly Hills situation, like the movie Slums of Beverly Hills,
Oh,
which is one
yeah.
of my favorite movies, where they were like living in Beverly Hills, but they were not of Beverly Hills, but they
Right.
all figured out a way to become of Beverly Hills,
Yeah.
which definitely happens. Beverly Hills will either make you, the talented Mr. Ripley or a space communist
I have a
like us.
question.
Yeah.
On the show last week, one of the reasons Kyle said that her and Kathy didn't speak for a while, the first reason she said was that her and Mauricio were starting an agency. Do you know what
I
that was
think
about?
that's because
Like, why would that
Mauricio
bother?
and Rick probably were in on some real estate stuff together, is my guess.
Oh, so
Because
there
they're
was like
all
a
realtors.
right. So there was like a break. Wait, is Kathy Hilton a realtor?
No, but she's married to Rick Hilton, who
Right.
is.
Okay. Okay. So then, yeah. So him splitting off would have caused some tension.
Yeah, like maybe they worked together or something and had a big Richards family realty company. And
Interesting.
Mauricio starting his own company was seen as a. Oh, Nikki Beck
Oh.
says he allegedly took clients. Ooh, okay. Well, that's how
Oh.
you
Okay, that makes
get
sense.
kicked out of society.
That makes sense. I was like, I don't remember that, but I also don't remember anything from.
I mean, I think also Kathy had issues with the fact that Kim was on the show at all.
Whoa, Graydon Shepherd! Shout out, welcome, thanks for
Woo,
following.
welcome. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Kathy just didn't like seeing her family drama play out on TV because she also is a little bit more buttoned up and like, that's people don't need to know about that.
right. And you know what? I think it. I mean, that's the thing though. It's like after all that plays out, Paris does that documentary where she's basically like, "Mom, I was being abused and you weren't paying attention." And I don't know, seems like after watching Cooking with Paris and Kathy was on it, their relationship seems fine. So maybe
Yeah?
Kathy's chilled out a lot in that regard.
What you say?
I said I think maybe Kathy's chilled out a lot in that regard, but like,
Yeah, I think Kathy also tried to give her children the like incredibly stable childhood that she didn't have as much, but I think they all just because they like love their mom and are, a little bit too in it to have a critical view of her. This is what I think also about the Kardashians, I think probably Kris Jenner was like studying the Hiltons, the Richard Hiltons, for sure, you know?
Right.
And being like, that's how we get our whole family famous, with a sex tape. But
Wow.
I also think that like with the Kardashians, like other than Kourtney, who's the only one who seems to have any like objectivity about like maybe your mom being your manager and also your mom is a bad idea. Like maybe your mom being your manager will interfere with her just being your mom.
Right.
I don't think the rest of them will deal with it until Kris Jenner is no longer on this earth. You know?
Uh,
Because especially with girls too, it's like, oh, you know, please your mom. Whatever mom wants.
it kind of makes me happy I have like such a Oh, shout out Sham God 416. Thanks for following. What I was gonna say.
Your family just plies you with tea and tells you.
They ply me with tea, and my mom is not that invested in anything I do at all.
I mean, my parents, you know, like I feel like if you grow up in LA, somebody will be like, "Hey, does your kid want to be in a movie?" Especially when you're a little weird ginger.
Right.
Everyone's like, "Hey, you want to be a little commercial child?" And
Right.
I definitely didn't want to do it, but they also like didn't, you know, they were like, don't do that.
Yeah,
I
they
think I
didn't
knew
force you.
other kids who were in commercials and I thought it was like embarrassing
Yeah.
to be like a theater kid, you know, a showbiz kid who's
Well, I
like,
think
look at me.
growing
ah."
up in LA, it's a little bit more like, okay. But if you're like outside of LA, I could see that being like so thrilling because you're not like right next to it at all times, you know?
Right, or if your parents moved you to LA to get you into show business and, you know, put you up at the Oakwood Hotel, which is where all the stage parents go.
Is that it? The Oakwood?
Yeah, the Oakwood in the Valley is where
Oh,
every professional child lives.
wow. Okay.
Because it's near all the studios.
Right. I do want to say I was talking to my mom yesterday on the phone and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting back into tennis." And she's like, "I like barely remember you playing tennis." And I was like, "What?"
Did you play like competitively for
No,
years?
no, I didn't play competitive. That would have been, but no, but I like took lessons. I played with my dad a lot. I played with my uncle. I played tennis. And my mom was like, "I just don't really remember." And I'm like, "What, bitch? You put me in it. Like, what do you mean?" It was crazy, but I don't know. That's my mom for you, who's like, "Wait, you did what as a
You
child?"
did what? Was I there?
She's like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of remember, but I also like really don't." I was like, "Okay, yeah. Do you know your husband plays tennis?" She's like, "I don't know who you are." It's like, what? I thought that was really
How's
funny.
tennis?
I mean, it's fine. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's fun. I
You're
play it
playing
because
it.
I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to like be active again, and tennis is like I've always really enjoyed playing it, so I'm like, you know, I might as well play tennis again.
Tennis is fun. Also a great way to meet rich Beverly Hills land developers.
Yeah,
Who...
that's like actually my plan. No, it's not. I'm gonna try and I'm trying to actually, you know, Mr. Bible Pan says really enjoyed Malia on today's TDZ. I feel like I missed Anna's streaming corner last week. I didn't do a streaming corner last week. Oh, Mackie Beck says it was a great ep. V North Mollywood.
Oh, thank you for listening.
But I was gonna say I'm gonna try to make Jack O'Brien and his wife play doubles with me. And Jack's like, I like playing it, but I'm not good. And I'm like, I mean, that's like the level we're bringing. I'm not being like, bring your A game. Like, I'm not exactly like.
Yeah, but isn't Jack
fresh.
like a little bit of like he plays basketball and stuff? Like maybe he's like.
I mean, I know he like runs. I don't know if he plays basketball or anything, but I wasn't like, okay, well, you're not playing a competitive tennis team. Like we're just like people trying to like stay in shape. Like I don't know what you think this is.
Right, we don't have to get the ball. We just have to run back and forth a lot.
You just have to hit it a few times and then we'll call it a game. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
The way is like, but like, are you like really good? And I'm like, no, bitch. No. It's been years since I've played. I play on and off like very rarely since I stopped playing. And like I played like in Rhode Island I played a lot, but like other than that, like I'm not.
You played in Rhode Island because you were at Arden's?
Yeah, I mean, because you could just bike to the tennis courts and it was something
Oh,
to do.
man.
There's nothing else.
We're all moving to Little Compton, Rhode Island.
Oh, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Fran Tifa. It's Fran.
Yeah, can you explain Frantifa to me?
So, if you guys listen to the Bituation Room or watch it, because it's also streamed, the Bituation Room with Francesca Fiorentini. Yeah, she her like following is called the Frantifa. It's, you know, a joke as in Antifa. And yeah, it's just her merch for the Bituation Room, and I thought it was funny, so I bought a shirt. So shout out, check out the Bituation Room, great politics podcast hosted by Francesca Fiorentini, who's a great commentator. Bill says, Anna, how do your skills relate to the ladies on Potomac? I mean, not probably well. I don't know. Like, how about this? I'm better than Erica Jane when she was playing at Kathy Hilton's. Like, I'm not that bad. Like, that's like, she could barely get her shit together. Like, that's not ideal. I'm like, I can hit the ball, I can serve, I can keep it moving, but I wouldn't say I'm like power stroking you to like a loss or anything like that. Like,
power stroking me.
Like, even my follow through isn't fully, like, I don't always commit to a follow through because as I've gotten older, I'm like a little bit more lazy in how I hit the ball. But like, this is stupid. Let's not talk about tennis anymore. I don't know why I started talking about this.
I love it. Sorry, I'm getting a missed call. Just checking.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I can hold the show on my shoulders. I know how to do this. Help. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just need to be friends with Kathy Hilton. Maybe she'll invite me over. Like she invited you over. I didn't watch Real Housewives of Potomac this week. Unfortunately, I'm behind, so we'll have to talk about that. But I will say, on the Kris Jenner note, I do think on Potomac, Candace allowing her husband to be her husbander is a bad idea. I don't think this is going to work out well. I think Giselle had a point.
As we were saying.
I'm not sure about that. Her husband and her seem to have a very kind of interesting relationship, but I also don't think this guy should put all his cards in managing Candace when, like, he clearly, like, he has a career, like, he could have a career that shouldn't be so, like, tied down to
I mean, also
Candace is like multi-level career that I don't even know.
She's not a very good singer.
No, I mean, like, I don't even know what her like pilot she was shooting was. Like, I was like, what?
Kate Raft, totally correct, says Candace likes to have toxic entanglements re-money. It's mirroring her mom relationship. Totally. Sham God says, I think she's trying to give him something to do since he is essentially unemployed and it will backfire.
I agree.
Completely agree.
And he should just keep
but she's the mom now. Totally. It's like she wants to keep him in a position where he's like reliant on her for money, which he is, which he's obviously, which is crazy too, because she knows how much she resents her own mom for the fact that she's reliant on her mom's money, even though she obviously takes that money happily. You know, she also knows it's like a bad, toxic situation for both of them, so it's weird that she's replicating it with her husband, because it's like, if you want to help him out, just get him like a food truck.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what he should be doing. Like, you can give him money,
or like have
he knows you have the money in this relationship, and that, like, fucking whatever, like, take advantage of that if you've got fun money.
Yeah, invest in his career a little, because guess what? Being a chef and a cook is actually like, that's like a chill life. You can, if you're a creative and you're good at what you do, you can have actually quite a lucrative career cooking.
Right. Like, I guess it's during COVID, so just like the restaurant
but
stuff
like host
is
like pop-ups. Like, it's doable.
Well, I think food truck. I think food truck.
No, that's a great idea. I agree. Food truck.
Or just, stand at the farmer's market or something. Like, something other than being in charge of her singing career, which also, like, she seems very confident it's going to take off.
I know. Hold on. I have a question. Mr. Bible Pants wrote, Nikki Becks, do we think Doug was trying to interrupt another stream now that Sophia blocked him? What is this tea about? Tell me what's going on. Who's Doug? Why did Sophia block him? Is he interrupting streams?
Who's Sophia?
Sophia Alexandra, I'm assuming, who hosts 420 Day Fiancé's stream with Miles Gray, where they talk about 90 Day Fiancé. It's our sister stream pod.
Yeah. I was like Sophia from Call Her Daddy.
Yeah. Shamgod
Our
says,
other sister pod.
Yeah. That's so us.
Shamgod 416 says he could be making pre-made meal plans for the DMV area. 80% of the professional network doesn't want to actually cook regularly. That's a very good idea. Yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of things he could use his chefing skills for, but have we considered, what if he's burnt out on being a chef and that's why he's down to manage Candace's careers, because he wants to be not in charge of whether it, succeeds or fails?
I mean, that makes sense, but at the same time, slippery slope.
It's a slippery slip. I mean, I think he's way too far down the slippery slope already. Like, he's obviously hitched his star permanently to Candace. So I think he's just going to stay on the tit. Big mom.
I mean, it does feel like he's on her ass a lot about getting shit done. And if it's like, okay, if he's found his true calling being a manager, then maybe he should get other clients as well, so he's not solely focused on her. I just think he needs something to stop them from losing, like imploding, basically, because they have to work together now.
Yeah, it just seems like the lack of boundaries between working together, living together during COVID, and being on a Real Housewives franchise together seems like a lot of pressure to put on a marriage.
I agree.
Mr. Bible Pants says some friend of hers was calling her like 30 times in one stream. Sophia had to block his number from all the pocket dials.
Okay, that's not as exciting as I thought. Man, just joking. That's fun. I'll ask Sophia about it.
Before we talk about Below Deck, let's spend a couple minutes talking about a little show called Clickbait.
Okay. Have you guys seen Clickbait on Netflix? It stars Zoe Kazan, right? Kazan?
Yeah, Kazan.
Adrian Grenier, this Persian actor whose name is like Phoenix something. I'm sorry, I can't recall off the top of my head. And then I don't know the main character, the wife's name, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Should have looked it up. But yeah, new show on Netflix. It's like a thriller crime thing.
Is anyone watching it? Has anyone watched it yet? Please tell us in the chat if you have watched Clickbait, think you might watch Clickbait, or do not care about Clickbait.
Okay, well, we haven't finished
the
it.
The Clickbait show was dark, but the ending is kind of lame.
Don't tell us. We haven't
have
finished
only
it.
watched one episode, so we don't even have to talk about the plot. We're just going to talk about the tone of Clickbait, because it's so weird. It is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. I've only watched 5 episodes. Molly's only watched 1.
I've only watched 1. I don't even know if I'm going to watch more, but there's something about a show like that where you're like, is this Canadian?
Oh, no, it's Australian. I looked it up.
But it's Australian. And it reminded me of the other Netflix show I watched recently that we talked about, Sex Life.
Yeah, it's got that energy.
It's got the same energy where I'm just like, was this like, why does this feel so weird and uncanny? And in Sex Life, it's because it's, I think, Toronto or Vancouver. I think maybe Toronto.
It's definitely, it's a Canadian.
New York.
Mm-hmm.
And in this show, it is Melbourne, Australia, subbing for Oakland,
yeah,
California.
Which is confusing because they actually they have like Oakland street signs everywhere. I don't get it. How
That's
it's
what's
shot.
confusing about it, is they walk in front of like a marquee that's like the Oakland Theater. And after I thought about it later, I was like, it must be like they just CGI'd that in or something. But it's also like there's no reason it couldn't just take place in a random, non-specific town.
Right.
Like there's nothing about it specific to Oakland except that they're like, this is Oakland. We live in Oakland.
It also like looks like Oakland. So part of me is like, they definitely must have shot some like I feel like in-house and whatever, like insides are all shot in Australia, like on studio, and then like it feels like all the outsides are actually shot in Oakland because it looks familiar. Like I'm from the Bay. I'm from literally where they're shooting, and I'm like that looks like.
But it gives you that uncanny feeling, that like Eyes Wide Shut feeling of like, this isn't really New York. This is a rear production.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe they filmed this all in front of a green screen and then green screened Oakland into the background. But
God, it feels that way.
Features the always incredible acting of Adrian Grenier.
It's wild that he's like Vinny Chase is like considered like someone who can play a dad in a TV show now. Or like a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
He's hit dad age.
I guess. He looks the same. He's also about as good as acting as he was before.
Well,
so
a few things from the chat. Yeah, I'm glad who watched. Let's see. Who watched White Lotus all in one night? I missed that. Oh, Zoe McPhee watched White Lotus all in one night. Love White Lotus. Someone pointed out, Zen Buddhist wasn't it? So White Lotus is a streaming quarter recommendation on TDZ. We haven't recorded it like us talking about it yet because I don't think Jack has finished watching it, but when he does, we'll record it. I should actually follow up. Thank you for the reminder.
I also haven't finished it. I should finish it.
You should finish it. It's fun.
I have one left.
And then, so Clickbait. Is it worth watching? Sure, you can watch Clickbait. It's definitely something to watch if you need something to watch. Am I saying go watch it right away?
It's literally clickbait.
Yeah, it is. The title is that.
And you're like, what's this weird show with Adrian Grenier? Is there going to be full frontal nudity in it like there was in Sex Life?
No.
So far no. So far no. I thought it was going to be an erotic thriller, and then it's like an internet thriller, like a surveillance thriller, that involves a lot of like on-screen texting and on-screen people using the internet.
Yeah, so also you
I don't know what genre it is.
I mean, it's like thriller mystery. I don't
know.
Netflix.
Whatever. The genre is Netflix.
So you tweeted about how the fact that it's not surprising that it's by the people who made The Slap. If you guys remember The Slap, which was originally an Australian production, they remade it for the US audiences. But it is, if you guys watch The Slap, every episode is from a different character's perspective. And so they do that exact same thing on Clickbait, where every episode is from a different person's perspective to kind of like build whatever the story around what's going on from everyone else's. But
Nikki Beck says The Slap is legend. Paisley Violet says it's the same people who did The Slap, LOL. That's when it made sense to me. When I looked up like who made this, where did this come from, and found out it was the people who did The Slap, I was like, oh. The Slap is a show that's like a weird play that's on television. It's about class conflict among very rich people in Brooklyn, I think. It's like if a prestige cable show tried to be on network television.
Doesn't work.
And you just felt the weird friction of those two things being at odds with each other. Kind of think of like Smash as being in that same category of shows that were like not necessarily beloved, but a lot of people I know watched because they were like, this is a batshit crazy type of show.
Yeah.
Just like, it's not boring. Clickbait's a little boring though. So the absurd moments are, they just take in the first episode, they take a super long time to get to the thing that you're like, what is this show about?
Yeah, I will say it pops off a little once you get a little deeper in, like just weird things start happening and you're like, okay. It's enough to keep you watching more.
They might trick me into watching the whole thing, or I might just read the spoilers and find
You
out what
can do
happened.
that too. I will say the slap is just all about someone at like a barbecue slapping someone else's
Yeah, it's
child and
about
then
like someone slaps a child, and what are the reverberations of this fancy barbecue? Doesn't it have Peter Sarsgaard was in it? Was somebody weird like Uma Thurman in it?
I
A child got
forget.
slapped in a Park Slope backyard and they ended up in a courthouse.
Yeah.
Epic TV. Yeah, it's like if a New York Times Styles piece was an entire anthology show, but just about one incident with a Rashomon from every perspective hook.
Mm, I like that. But yeah, there's one thing I want to talk about real quick. It's like so the detective, one of the main detectives working the case is a Persian man, which I'm always like, wow, okay, got Persians on TV. Okay.
Persians
Um
are especially on Netflix.
yeah, for real, seriously. So this actor though, his character's name is Roshan Amiri. It annoys the shit out of me because everyone calls him Amiri, and then I hear myself in my own dad's voice being like, Amiri. It's Amiri. Because I can't help it. Like, I immediately, like, if you say anything incorrectly in a non-Persian accent that's, Persian, my father, like, freaks out and corrects you in a way that you're like, whoa, stop yelling. So I am naturally turning into that person because I am my father's daughter. So every time they go like Amiri, come here, I'm like Amiri, it's Amiri, and so I'm just losing my mind. But when they go to his house, there's a scene where they go to his house, and the family's speaking Farsi, and I gotta say, there's like a weird thing when you when you see people speaking Farsi on TV. There's like a weird like the way they talk isn't right. They're not hitting the accents correctly. And I don't know, maybe it's because the actors maybe aren't all Persian. I know the main guy is Persian because I Googled him, but
Or does he not speak Farsi?
I don't know. So that's the thing is when they're speaking Farsi on screen, it's like it literally feels when you are a like Farsi speaker like myself, like I was raised speaking it, my parents speak Farsi to me, like we all speak Farsi at home. But when you hear it on TV, it's like a little off. Like
Does
they're
it
saying all the
sound
same stuff, but like the way they say the words are just like they're saying the words wrong.
does it sound like they're doing it phonetically?
Kind of, kind of. But it just feels
Mr.
off.
Bible Pants says maybe it's the same as presenter voice.
Maybe, but I just don't know what it is. It's weird, but I've
Well,
noticed
everything
it in other stuff as well, like
I
other
I
shows
think
and movies.
it's also like this is a show where the English language also sounds weird and stilted and wrong,
Yeah,
and everybody talks like an alien,
yeah.
like not how anyone talks. And so,
Oh my god, the main character Zoe Kazan is an unreal person.
right, like she's not a person.
Okay, she's so weird.
She's such a weird character archetype. Whenever they try to write like a cool girl,
Yeah, it's too much.
it's
They always
very
go
often
too far.
yeah, they make her like she's so cool. It's like
She's so cool. She only wears band t-shirts. She has
she
like
wears
a
leather
really
jackets.
yeah. That's the thing. I'm like, you cannot always be wearing the same outfit, which is leather jacket, black band t-shirt, like ratty.
Well, did
and
you
then-
see that's how that woman who there was a bunch of stuff about like yesterday who is like a former Democrat turned like right-wing radio grifter lady.
right.
Did you see her?
Yeah.
And her whole thing was like a Misfits shirt
Yeah.
with a, and a leather jacket because like fucking right-wingers are so punk rock, bro. And it's like, it's a costume. It's a costume.
Right. And so she's wearing this costume and she's always wearing like big jeans or well, whatever, like the mom style jeans. They're not fitted, obviously. She's not wearing skinny jeans, but then she also wears like black, like stiletto heels,
Yeah.
like boot
What?
heels. Like, what?
Huh?
That's like an aesthetic choice. Sure, I could see you wearing it like a night you go out or whatever, but she wears it every
They're
day.
like- they just shot this all like in one day.
Yeah, and she appears to be a phlebotomist. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, she's cool, she gets fucked up, and then she goes to phlebotomy
Yeah, she goes and puts needles
profession.
in people's arms after like partying all night, and I'm like, this
Yeah,
isn't
man.
cool. This sucks.
She's fucking cool. She shows up at work on time, bro.
So anyway,
Should we take it over to Below Deck Town?
let's
I think
talk
it's
BD. Let's talk BD, not to be confused with ED.
yeah, can we get a ahoy hoy going in the chat?
Ahoy,
Say,
hoy.
Say ahoy if you'd like us to start talking about Below Deck now.
It's a boat horn for you. Ahoy, mateys!
All right. That's
Hell
all the
yeah.
encouragement we need.
So, yeah, okay. Below Deck Med, Season 6, Episode 10. Man. I think, oh God, I just want to get to the good shit. We did see Mathieu burn himself, which was thrilling. I did think, didn't it kind of look like the back of his chef's coat also caught fire? But I guess it was just like a weird...
Fire was like a huge flame up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you in real life.
Not really,
My friend once did that in our apartment when I lived with him. And he's a very like kind of OCD together guy, but he randomly like, you know, somehow made a huge flame in a pan. It was terrifying.
No, I've never done that.
But it went up really fast and then it goes back down.
Right.
So I think it's like kind of just like fajitas, you know? Not fajitas, like bananas Foster. It's like it's like the big flame and it rises really high and then it goes shoop. So I think it looked like a lot of stuff was going to catch on fire, but maybe it didn't actually catch anything except his hand. But that was like fucking horrible to have to look at.
Well, Jack, who has fixed his name to capitalize all Jack because I don't know. I call him Jackson on cable TV, so good for you,
to
Jack.
help with our phonetic pronunciation of people's screen names.
So Jack on cable TV I told my wife I've burned myself like that lots of times, and she was horrified. The burns didn't look that bad to me. Painful but not serious. They look
pretty bad. The fact that it actually turned his hand a different color a little bit, it looked like he had like legit like charred some skin. I do think that most chefs are a little bit just like used to that, you know? More so than other people.
I mean, the way the blistering is like...
The blistering was fucked up, but I worked in kitchens with people who had burned their hands like so much on a stove, like grill chefs who would just, had burned their hands so many times that they like could just touch the hot grill and not feel anything.
Oh, so they've basically like burned the pain receptors off their fingers?
Yeah, they've like burned through the nerve endings and they could just like take something off a super hot grill if
that's too much.
They wanted to. Shout out Pam.
Shout out Pam. Oh,
very cool.
I thought you. I was like, "Who's Pam?" Like looking in the chat.
No, Pam is the person who worked with in a kitchen.
oh, I thought you were talking about Pam the spray. Okay, I was all over the place.
Well, also shout out that kind of Pam. That could be how you make a big flambe.
Yeah.
Kitties in the pineapple. Mr. Bible Pants says cooked at a Waffle House for years, and you definitely get used to it. See, that's what I mean. I think just like when you work with like a big grill, when you grill all day, every day. Some stuff might happen.
I've like burned my arms, like being like reckless pulling things in and out of the oven. So I have some.
I think chefs are also pain freaks, probably. Like I feel like the macho aspect of being a chef would make you also be like, who cares? I don't feel it. Well, and I was surprised that Matthew was a little bit like that because he's such a baby.
Well, Matthew clearly has no ability to handle anything based off the first episode where he had to leave because his knee hurt. And then like this time, he just kept, the whole time he kept being like, my fingers, I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much pain. It's like, why don't you just like stop saying it?
Why did you beg to like be on the ship still? Why don't you just go home?
Well, also like he, engineer producer Zach is pretending to sneeze and say Machu,
That's what his name
He's
sounds like.
mocking us.
Um,
But I will say it did appear. It appeared. So, oh yeah, and then he did tell that story where he's like he worked with a woman who like had like searing, boiling hot water poured on her arm, and all she did was like wrap it up and keep working.
believable. Somebody I know worked at an ice cream parlor in Los Angeles, and one of the other employees got completely burnt by a vat of hot caramel.
The worst way to go. Tasty.
Fucking horrible. And then
A tasty
my friend
burn.
quit that job after that because he
Yeah.
was like, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it at all. Mr. Bible Pants said he Nancy Kerrigan'd it. I bet he fucking did. He paid Malia to hit his knee. He could probably pay Lexi to do it because Lexi would do it out of like pure anger. He probably didn't even have to pay her.
No, for sure he doesn't have to pay her.
All right. Machu, I don't know. This guy, so he's like the guests that come on this boat, they have like every person has like a different dietary restriction. And then the one I was starting to realize when they said dairy-free keto, that's nuts. Because keto is like mostly dairy to survive. And the fact that you're removing a large portion of your diet, which means you're basically just eating like salads.
Well, don't some people just have a lot of restrictions so they can just not eat?
Well, yeah, no, but I mean,
That's what these people
probably it.
seemed like. This crowd seemed, yeah, they had all completely different food desires.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because it's like, why are you doing keto? Just like, you don't need to do keto. I don't know. Shit's confusing. People are like,
It just sounded like they had all chosen a restriction out of a bag. So it was like, I'm keto, like I'm gluten free, I'm, lactose intolerant. They just all had something.
it's just to eat dairy free keto. It's like you can literally just eat like spinach. You can't eat anything else. Like it makes no sense to me.
I mean, maybe that's what some people like. I have a friend who's a
but that's
vegan because he just
surreal.
doesn't really like care that much about food,
That's so wild to me.
He
I don't care
doesn't.
about
He just kind of
food.
eats the same thing over and over again, which is like, to me, I could never do that. But
No, I love
it works for
food.
him.
One of my favorite things about our existence is food. And I do keto. So like I will you know what? I can't even talk about this. I'm just so upset already. Well, anyway, Captain Sandy brings in a doctor to check out his burns, and the doctor's like, "You again, you dumb bitch," and then wraps him up and sends him on his way. And then the deck crew has to help him in the galley to cook. I don't fuck with Machu at all. Let's talk
He's the
about
worst.
let's talk about Delaney, as Lexi called her at one point. Delaney. I was like, it's Delaney. I don't know why. Delaney. And yourself, Delaney? Well, she's here. Do you like her?
Delaney.
It's so stupid. Do you like Delaney/Delaney?
No, I don't really like her.
I don't like her either. I was like, she seems nice. And then immediately I was like, I don't care for this person at all.
Don't care for her. She has sort of like improv comedy energy almost. There's something about Delaney I don't like. And then when she was sort of being like, you can't fire me.
Yeah.
That was kind of amazing. Because she was very scary. She seemed very threatening. She was like, well, I've been doing such a great job. You can't just get rid of me when I've been doing an incredible job. How do you even know?
I mean, okay. So, in case you guys don't know, oh my god, now look how I'm talking. In case you guys didn't know, they bring in a new deck stew to help out with the interior. Her name's Delaney. We learned she graduated from Berkeley with like a media studies degree. And then she said something really dark, which is that it had psychology in it. And she liked that because she wants to learn how to get people to do what she wants, which I was like, okay. But then in that time, she joined the sailing team, which she really liked. And then she also, I guess, has a speech impediment where she says her R's as W's.
And then she said she started doing it more on purpose to like get stuff.
Or to like so she could get out of school and get snacks, because they would pull her out of school to work on her speech impediment and give her like crackers or whatever. And so she just didn't work on her speech impediment, is my understanding.
It seemed like she did fix it, but she pretended to keep having it so she could keep getting out of school.
Oh, what? Like, she's such a, I don't know. That's the thing, it's like, she seems nice, but then she said that thing about she likes psychology to get people to do what she wants. And I was like, okay, well, that's kind of not a great thing to admit out loud.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, she also apparently has never been a stew before, but then put Deck Stew on her resume, which is not good. She has like really, really confident white woman energy, like that.
Yeah, she's just
off-putting.
like, well, I'm fantastic at this thing I've never done before, so why don't you shut the fuck up and I'll continue folding sheets incredibly.
And also on top of that,
maybe a little musical theater energy.
yes, she has like horse girl energy.
Yeah, horse girl, exactly. Like
Or
she might
she
know
just-
the libretto to Wicked.
Yeah, like she ignores the fact that everyone's off put by her because she's like, well, who cares, because I'm perfect.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're like, okay, you're making everyone feel weird. And she's like, do as I say. And you're like,
It reminds me a little bit of who was our friend who grew up working on yachts last season, whose name I already can't remember because each new season of Below Deck wipes the prior from my brain.
Shit. What's her name? Blonde girl hooked up. She was in a
same
throuple.
Same vibe. Just like, I grew up in this business and you can't tell me to get off this yacht.
And then she's also the one that turned out she was like classically trained singer and did theater. Shit.
Yes.
What's her name, you guys? Kristen? Kelsey? Christina? What? Callie? Oh, God. I legitimately forget her name. She hooked up with Gaza, and she was in a throuple for a hot minute.
Yeah, someone in the chat will know.
Oh, well. Yeah, they have, I would say, oh, man. I think I dislike the last, Sydney. Thank you, Zoe McPhee.
Thank you.
Person. You're thinking out here. We're not thinking.
Clickbait wiped our brains.
Truly. I think I like Delaney a little more than Jesus. I think I like Delaney a little more than Sydney.
Well, we don't know yet. We just met Delaney.
You're right. God damn it. You're right. Okay. Well, I don't know. Not Sydney. Delaney's got energy that could potentially fuck everything up. Courtney's really threatened by Delaney because she like doesn't think she should stay because she hasn't been a stew before. And then Delaney's like, well, I was a valedictorian of high school, so like I'm not an idiot. I'll figure it out. That's another thing. We get it. Cool. You were the valedictorian of your high school, but like, how old are you now? Can you really continue to say that?
Yeah.
Zach, this like
Shut
looks
up.
weird.
Who cares? Oh, I like it. No, it's cool. I think it looks like a pineapple is peering over your head. Turn it on. Is it on? It looks like you're pulling it out of the air. It's cool.
It's because he just pinned it to the green screen. But there's kind of like a dark energy to it. I don't know.
I like it.
Is it on?
It's out of battery.
Oh.
No, it's out of battery. I don't know about this. I don't like anything like hanging. It gives me bad vibes.
I mean, yeah. It looks like it's floating, though.
Okay, as long as it looks like it's floating and not hanging.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know if you can see on the screen with the green screen. It looks like it is floating above your head a little bit. Whee!
This is so weird.
I saw a really good tweet today that was somebody talking about making ghosts to put on a lawn that are made of chicken wire. It kind of has the same energy as this. It's like Haunted Mansion vibe.
I don't know how to do it.
That's fine. Put it where you had it before. Sorry, I can't focus on both you with the pineapple and Molly.
Too much.
Wingo Shack says, no one cares if you are valedictorian even when they're in high school. I agree. I don't even
No.
remember who our valedictorian was.
I don't remember who the valedictorian was either. I was the salutatorian, but
What's that?
I would not brag about it.
What's the salutatorian?
Well, it's supposed to be the person who's second to the valedictorian, but at my
That's
school
wild.
it was just someone they voted on to make a speech.
Oh,
And my
okay.
friend yelled out my name in assembly and was like, vote for Molly, and then people did. But because it's normally the person with the GPA like second to the valedictorian,
see.
there was a list where they published everyone's GPAs
Jesus.
from all the local schools, all the salutatorian and valedictorian GPAs, and I had the lowest GPA of anyone on the
That's wild that they would do that.
salutatorian list.
That's
It
no
was
one's
funny.
business.
It was like a Valley newspaper.
I think I had like a 3.5 if that. I was a terrible student.
I
God,
was
if you guys could
I was
only
somewhere in that
see,
zone.
I think I had a 3.0 in college. I graduated like,
Dude, that's what college is for. It's for hanging out.
I will say if I went back to college now, I'd fucking kill it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go back to college
we are?
when we go to Yacht University and learn
you're
how
right.
to be deckies.
Mr.
Yachties.
Bible Pan says, I remember because I was mad it wasn't me, but there were only 40 people in my graduating class. Damn. So McPhee says, my Val was literally the epitome of horse girl. She literally thanked her horse in the speech. I mean, there is a type of person.
Yeah.
Well, and that's Delaney because she's like, well, I was valedictorian in high school, so I think I can make a bed. It's like, you should just be able to
Yeah.
make a bed. You don't need to be a valedictorian.
Fucking do it.
God, Nikki Beck says there was 4 valedictorians in my class. Jesus. I was ex-friends with all of them. That's a nice twist. Fuck them all. I don't remember my valedictorian. Actually, I do feel like I have a vague memory of one of them potentially being a valedictorian, but then they like got in trouble. So then they weren't allowed to do their speech or something. That's like a very vague memory I have. But maybe that's not how it went down. All right, if you guys went to my high school, graduating in the year 2008, let me know if that story's correct.
That's right.
Oh, I actually went to 2 high schools. Okay, so, oh, this is wild to me. Apparently, so when Delaney showed up, they were going to put her in a room with Machu to room.
Yes. And while I am normally all for co-ed, whatever, I do think Machu is too creepy.
No,
Put
no
in
one
a room with a girl. Yeah.
No, he should room by himself. But I will say, interesting fact, management doesn't like when men and women room together. When has this ever been an
I
issue?
feel like, has that ever been a thing, or is this like some maritime law, Sandy? Also, like, Sandy, you're a lesbian. Like, do you not think there's the possibility for sex when women room together? Like,
I mean,
people can room together and not have sex. Again, I specifically think Machu shouldn't be allowed around anyone in a vulnerable state.
well,
'Cause
that's
he's a
what's
creepazoid,
confusing.
but
I don't remember this ever being an issue in the past.
like, isn't Malia bi? Like, oh, can Malia not room with a woman? Like, 'cause she might fuck them? Like, it just seems so weird and puritanical.
okay, so Nikki Beck said Adrian Gang, ugh, my nightmare, said there was a $70 million lawsuit recently because of
Oh.
a sexual assault in a co-ed bunk, and management companies are making changes because of it. I see.
Gotcha. Okay.
I see. That's
Makes
fucked.
sense.
That makes sense now because I was like, this has never been a problem in the past. But apparently, if you're a couple, it's totally fine. But if you guys are just like people, you can't room together. And this stresses
Yeah.
Katie out so much because now they have to change all the rooms up, basically, where the 3 girls are going to go in a room together. And then everyone else basically has to be same identifying gender.
Yeah.
If they even, what if they don't identify?
Yeah.
It sounds like Bravo, not Bravo, like these yacht management companies. Not in the 21st century yet.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't hire people who have potentially backgrounds that I guess you don't always know because people can hide. They may have never been convicted of being a fucking sex criminal, but still, it's like what? It's devastating.
Yeah.
It's devastating. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, this stress that they have to like change rooms is like now making Katie reconsider having her there 'cause she's like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
But doesn't it, how do you feel about it? Do you think they should keep her or that they should let her go?
I mean, I think they should keep her for the drama.
I don't know.
But I want her to go. I want her to get fired.
Well, so Katie attempts to fire her. And then Delaney, like, who, you know, took that psychology class on how to manipulate someone into letting you stay, is like, why don't you just, hey, like, I'm doing a great job. Like, I don't think it's fair to me. Like, I'm learning really quickly. And I'm like, basically a Stu at this point. And Katie's like, well, you shouldn't really put Stu on your resume to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but like, I'm like so
I'm
like
really good at
good.
it.
And she's like, let's talk again after the charter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her. That is it. Do I want her to be fired? I don't know, because like I don't need any more of this energy like towards Lexi. I don't know.
Yeah, it made me appreciate Lexi though.
Definitely. Even Lexi was like, I don't care, I'll room with Delaney.
Yeah, I was like, oh, whoops.
Jack on cable TV says Sandy put Katie in a horrible spot. I mean, Katie is really going through it. This poor girl's just like vomiting. She just like can't catch a break. Like, is just like having a terrible time. Like, you can see it just like in Katie's face. Like, she's having a bad time.
Yeah.
And she's like vomiting on camera.
Yes.
Yeah, not ideal. I personally, if I was Katie, I'd be like, Sandy, fuck you. Like, you should have just let me fucking fire Lexi when I wanted to fire Lexi.
Yeah.
Ugh. And you should have fucking, I don't know. Zoe McPhee says, I like her, but maybe my judgment is clouded because I think she's attractive. I mean, and she says also the speech impediment thing is kind of adorable. I mean, yeah, she's attractive and, you know, whatever about the speech impediment. It's more just like
not
what she said to begin with. Like that, it was just like she came in too hot, and I was
her
like,
personality
whoa.
makes her unattractive.
Yeah. I don't even notice the speech impediment. I didn't notice it until she said something, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay, I guess that's a thing. But like the whole, I don't know. I think she just came in too hot, and the whole like, I'm super smart, I will manipulate you thing is like
I'm a genius.
A little aggro, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want to manipulate people, manipulate people. Don't actively admit that you're trying to manipulate people.
Yeah, don't be like, I'm Machiavellian.
Yeah, like, great, I'm glad, but like,
cool, yeah, great job.
now my like hairs are up on the back of my neck because I'm like, what the fuck? No one admits that unless you have no shame about it, which is a red flag.
Yeah.
You should at least have some shame about the fact that you're trying to manipulate people. Like, when I try and manipulate someone, I know I feel bad I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? And then I have anxiety for 10 days, you know, or whatever, 10 years. Not that I'm like good at manipulating anyone because I'm an idiot, but like 3.0 GPA here, shout out.
Hey man, that's how you should come in and be like, look, I got a 3.5. I can probably fold a sheet. Just don't expect too much.
Yeah.
I'll still be a better employee than Matthew.
Yeah.
That's for goddamn sure.
Let her just be the chef.
Yeah.
if she's that confident, I'm sure she probably believes she could be anyway.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying don't be confident, but like you can be confident and not like a terrifying person.
And not a psychopath.
I don't know. She's got weird energy. But anyway, look, Katie is manipulated into giving Delaney another shot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Bible Pants says Kate was the master manipulator. Kate is unbelievable because Kate, like, there was something like you could tell she didn't give a fuck, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, Kate, I never really like disliked. Like, Kate, I always thought she was just so funny and good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kate, I thought could write comedy. Like, she could be in a room. Is that weird?
No.
Like, she
Kate's
would
funny.
always, early seasons, she would write like housewives intros for everyone, like as a bit, like just to do it. And she would
Mhm.
like nail them. And I'd be like, she's actually really funny
Yeah.
and like a good writer, in my opinion. I read her book. Is that crazy?
Oh.
What was it called? It's called like my, hold on, I'll pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kate Chastain has a book called Lucky Charming.
Ooh.
Yeah. So check that out. Lucky Charming. Zoe McPhee says, oh yeah, Kate is an actual comedian. I mean, she is. She's hilarious.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's really like on fire on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What else before we wrap this up? The deck crew. I mean, they seem to be doing well. The guys think it's good that Delaney, who's single, is on the boat, so David has someone else to thirst after that's not Malia.
Yeah.
They have like an in memoriam for that giant inflatable unicorn boat thingy.
Yeah. That was funny.
It was pretty funny. All the people just like grinding up on it, like
Yeah. And just the like, oh, they served their time and now they
Yeah.
have to die.
It had so many different holes. They were just like patching it up with duct tape.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Hmm.
What else? Oh god, the last day that we see on this episode, that storm looked gnarly. I don't think so, honey. That
I
storm.
don't think so, honey.
It looked bad. And the fact that they had Malia out there, like, because they were
Mhm.
resetting the anchor. Look at me, I'm basically a yachty. They were resetting the anchor, and Malia's out there in, like, storm and thunder, and I was like, this bitch is gonna get struck by lightning. That's so dangerous. And to, like, have your hand up because you're, like, guiding or doing the, like, signals for where the anchor is. I was like, oh, no. This is bad. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Ugh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
No,
Mr.
sir.
Bible Pants says she's not that tall. She'll be fine. But, like, will she? I don't know, man. I don't trust lightning. Lightning. I knew a girl who got struck by lightning. I mean, she was fine. But, like, she
Oh,
was
it's
small,
bad.
too.
My grandmother had her best friend get struck by lightning and die in front of her.
Jesus! What? That is so
And that was
fucked up.
before the Holocaust.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like in the hills of Germany. She was like on a hike with her friend and her friend got struck by lightning and died.
They were hiking in rain, or it was, like, dry lightning?
I don't know, but I know that she was afraid of storms for the rest of her life because of it.
Yeah, I fucking would be too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And Nazis. Afraid of Nazis.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, like, comes with the fucking territory, but, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's enough trauma without all the other stuff on top.
So they were walking. I'm assuming, how old was your grandma? Young?
Yeah, she was young when that happened.
Okay, so
because she
that
was still
kid-
in Germany.
That kid couldn't have been that big if they got hit by lightning. I guess they're on a hill, but, like, I'm assuming a child. Malia's about the size of a child.
Yeah. Malia could go down.
Oh, God, that's so sad. I would hate that. I'm really scared of getting struck by lightning.
Yeah, I think about it if I'm, if I'm out and there's lightning, although that doesn't happen that much here, obviously. You You don't want to get hit by lightning.
I've watched videos to make sure it's safe to be in a car and or airplane while there's lightning. And it is, because as long as you're not
That's
touching
fine. It gets
the metal, it just goes around you.
the thing. Isn't the whole plane a lightning rod?
I mean, how do you mean?
You know, I don't know.
Are you making like a dick joke?
No, I mean it. Like, isn't a lightning
Oh.
rod, like, that's the point of a lightning rod, is it's a metal thing that catches the lightning so it doesn't strike the roof and set it on fire of a house. So maybe the
Oh.
plane, because it's metal, or maybe the plane has a lightning rod. If anyone understands science, just tell us how
I
wrong
just-
we are, please.
Yeah, I watched a documentary about it, but I don't really remember detail. Oh, I think I watched a Nova. Remember Nova?
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. I love
docuseries. I
Nova.
watched a Nova on lightning. Okay, Mr. Bible Pan says it's a
Ooh.
Faraday cage. Is that
I'm
a
gonna
thing?
watch a Nova on lightning.
It's actually very interesting, and it informed me a lot about my lightning fears.
Yeah, lightning's so cool. I
I,
respect it.
I don't fuck with it though.
Well, yeah, because it's
Gotta watch
fire
out, Zen
in the
Buddhist.
sky. Watch out for lightning and Nazis. Correct. Two problems in Germany.
Well, yeah. So I wouldn't want to be out there in wet rain, like holding your hand up to guide a goddamn metal chunk up.
Like Ben Franklin.
Did he actually get struck by lightning?
I mean, I don't know if that story's true, but yeah, that's how he discovered electricity, supposedly.
Okay, Mr. Robin Pan says, like this bands that play music with lightning generators, but they're inside a stripper cage. Wait, what? I don't even. Okay, you know what, Mr. Bob Pants? I don't even know what that means anymore.
You guys are gonna have to change the subject. You don't know anything about lighting.
When did
Yes,
engineer
that's
Zach
the guy here,
get
and
so
that
chatty?
plane is-
When does this become? When have you become a part? You know what, motherfucker? The Zen Buddha says Malia should have a kite. Yeesharoni. That would actually probably get her killed. Mr. Bible Pan says the metal cage routes electricity around them. Got it. Okay, see, that's what I learned in the Nova documentary. That's why if it hits a plane, it just goes around the metal.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
It's a big
same-
lightning rod.
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then same with a car. Just don't be
Yeah.
like touching any of the
It's a
metal
big
parts
old
of the
lightning
car.
rod, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Faraday cage. Cool. Good to know.
Hmm.
All right. Well, yeah. Deck crew, they're killing it. They're great. I can't wait. One of them is gonna get sick. I have a feeling, and isn't that coming? And then David falls face first out of the hot tub. Woo! That was tough footage to watch. But let's hit on the guests real quick. I don't know. It's just a big group of women. They mostly just drink and twerk.
Good lord. They are terrifying.
They like Matthew's cooking.
They're just like a bunch of Jennifer Coolidges.
Yeah, they are. And
Like, especially the main one. They're all Jennifer Coolidge on the White Lotus. They're just like, give us weird dietary restrictions and we're gonna get so wasted.
Yeah, and twerk. And so one of them puts on one of those giant, like, it's like a
Like,
weird.
I thought it was gonna be a inflatable sumo suit because I feel like they do those on Bravo shows sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was an inflatable, like, bikini, like big boob bikini suit.
Yeah, it's like those dinosaur costumes where, like, the head is all big,
Yeah,
but it's like
inflatable. I don't know where. Maybe there must be a little fan inside or something keeping it inflated.
right. It's just like an inflated bikini body suit, like a big booty suit, and then the woman puts it on, one of the guests, and then they make David get a lap dance with it on. And I thought that was
Yeah.
funny. And I want that suit kind of just to play with it.
Yeah.
David's just like with his giant ass teeth, just like smiling awkwardly left and right as they force him to do shit. Okay, Zoe McPhee does not care for Machu's food, and that chicken parm looked basic as fuck. I won't lie,
Yeah.
it did.
Come on.
Mr. Bible Pen says, I was thinking of Jennifer Coolidge and Legally Blonde wanting a hot dog real bad. Zen Buddha says
Yeah.
that blow up suit was gross. It's basically a sumo suit with the concept of the woman in a bikini.
Yeah.
Zoe McPhee, and then he orders a cake. I truly believe he doesn't know how to make a cake.
He definitely doesn't know how to make a cake. That's why he keeps being like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and he says Courtney throws kitty candles and edible flowers on it. Talk about phoning it in. Ben and Rachel would never. No, because they make their own desserts. And so pumped for Rachel to come back for the new season of Below Deck Regular. Wingo Shagro, Matt deconstructing everything is such a cop-out. I think he has the facade of being a good chef, and I don't think his food's really that innovative.
No.
I think he's a good, private chef in the sense that he
Is
can,
he?
keep you fed.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the lowest possible bar
Yes.
for a chef. And he doesn't. He didn't want to cook the food for the crew.
Well, that's the thing. But, he can't, he could never run a restaurant, in my opinion. He doesn't seem that innovative.
No.
He could have never, come up with a menu. It feels like
No.
he's just kind of
He doesn't even have a beef cheeks. You're not even like, well, at least you have one thing. He's just
No.
like, "Ooh."
his one thing is ordering in cake.
Yeah. And having injuries.
Zoe McPhee says Sandy is fine at basic ass tables too. I mean, I think Sandy really is choosing her battles this season. Cause
Yeah.
one, you don't have a Bugsy on board to really, do it up. Or Brooke.
Yeah.
Remember Brooke was really good at them too, tablescaping. So do what you can with Lexi and Katie who's slowly dying from the stress and anxiety of everything around her, and then Lexi who's I was reading a Q&A Lexi did
Mm-hmm.
on her Instagram, and she's like, I would never come back. Bravo owes me more money because everyone's talking about me and all the drama I created. This show would be nothing without the drama. And I'm like, yeah,
Nope.
sure, but this just isn't your you shouldn't do reality TV. It seems like it doesn't make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And she did say she would never come on because her mental health. And I don't even think that she's not even sure she said she'd be at the reunion, which I was like, cop out, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Cop out. Okay. Is that it?
All right. I think that's it for tonight.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. You can follow us at Deckheads Pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can email us at deckheadspod@gmail.com. Thank you for watching tonight's stream. I am at Anna Hosnier.
And I am at Molly Lambert.
Hell yeah. So follow us there. Follow us on Deckheads Pod to keep up with when the streams are in case we need to push one. And yeah. Twitter and Instagram, send us any good stuff. We love tea. We love you to send us any info you got, any posts you see you think we'd enjoy. Let us know.
Send it.
I'll give a shout out to former host Nick Turner and his lovely, lovely hot mama Lyra, who just had a baby. So shout out to the Nick.
You said on Instagram, you said he's baby rich.
Yeah. He's baby rich now. He's got a baby. He's rich. Also, Allie from Sailing had her baby. So, look at us. We have so many babies in the Deckheads universe.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name's baby? The Brazilian woman.
Yeah. So many.
She got
babies.
her baby.
Wonder
All
what's
right.
up with that.
What's up with babies?
What's up with babies? Thanks for watching, Pineapple Gang. Give
Thanks
us a
for
pineapple in the
watching.
chat.
Give us a little pineapple.
We'll see you next week.
Until
we think.
next
Unless
time.
they're off for Labor Day. We'll find out soon, and then we'll tell you.
Danny, yes. Danny just had her baby. Sorry about that.
Extra
All right,
finger
guys. Until next time, enjoy. We'll see you next week. Bye.